Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, depending what time you're watching this next episode from me, Avomance, in my farm tutorial series. Right, so you have just spawned into a brand new world, and you want to get resources fast. Now, you could go bashing loads of trees and just randomly walk around. Of course you could. You could go randomly killing loads of sheep or cows. Of course you could. But what I like to do is when I start a brand new survival world is get myself to really simple farms moving as fast as I possibly can, that is going to make me have the resources I need. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to share with you my two favourite early game farms that you need virtually no resources for whatsoever. Well, kind of, except for maybe one little thing, but we'll come on to that later. But you can do this very quickly. So I reckon we should just crack on. Right, so first off, you want some wood. Now, I've spawned right in the middle of a massive forest, so wood is not necessarily an issue for me. But even so, I will exhaust this wood fairly quickly. So I'm going to make myself a fairly fast tree farm. The first thing we're going to do, we're going to get ourselves a block, and we're going to shove a block there. Then we're going to come up, across, and then there. So you see we've follow this edge, follow the one block, and then that edge. Then we're going to come along this edge, follow one block, and that edge, again the same. Follow this edge, follow one block, and that edge. So you can see we've got like a diagonal going in that direction. Then here, we're going to come along, follow this block, that edge. Follow this block, that edge. Follow this block, that edge. So fairly simple, really. And we're just going to make a sort of square. Get out of the way, sheep. I don't want you in my middle. Right, so we're going to come along here, block. Come along here, block, come along here, and block. And similarly, if we do it this way, you'll see we come along here, block, come along here, block, and that then joins that one. And then all we do is we sort of join them up in the middle. So we come along this row, and it joins that, and exactly the same here, there, and it joins that. So if you can see above, you've got a pattern that looks a little bit like that. Then what you want to do is get yourself a torch. On each and every one of these stones, shove yourself a torch. And what this is going to do, this has got a very clever geometric grid pattern, and it means you can plant around them very simply. But before we plant, we need to do one more thing, and that is come up next to the outside of one of your blocks. So here, I'm going to come into the far corner, and we're going to come up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then on the 8th one, I'm going to put a half slab. And then what you're going to do is you are going to build out a wall that has one outside of each of these blocks. So you come back 3, come in 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3, and then come this way again, 2, 3, come in 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. You get the idea. And then what you do is you complete the square and fill it in. I'll be back when I've done that. So what we've got there is a roof that is directly over the top of your funny looking diamondy slopey square, but it covers up all the gaps over the top. Now, what this shape has made sure of is that no matter where you put a sapling, you are always going to have a light source next to the sapling. Now, what can happen is if you put saplings in a row, the ones on the outside can grow faster than the ones on the inside. And if that happens, what you end up having is saplings popping off. And if they pop off, that creates a gap inside that is not lit. And if you have a gap inside that is not lit, you can be surprised by a creeper jumping out from you when you are cutting along your logs, and that is not what you want. If you're cutting trees, the last thing you want is for some creeper to jump out and blow up your farm. So obviously you'll get as many of these saplings as you can. You don't have to fill in all of the gaps first, of course, absolutely not. You can just collect your saplings as you go, but I'm lucky that I can just fill them all in. But you'll see, if we go all the way around, there is not a single sapling that is not next to a light source, so it makes it dead easy. So when they grow up, you end up with a high concentration of wood that you can just chop straight down, and even if some of the ones in the middle don't grow, they're not going to pop off because of the lack of light. This roof here stops them growing into those big giant oak trees that have got lots of limbs and getting in the way of the others growing. That is one of my 2 favourite farms. The next farm is dead important. And Minecraft has got to eat, right? So we are going to do a meat farm. Now you can use sheep or cows for this. It really doesn't matter. I'm surrounded by sheep, so we may as well go with sheep. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to dig a hole. Then I'm going to dig another hole. Then I'm going to take that out. And I'm going to put in a dispenser. Now you could argue, I agree, you could argue that a dispenser is an early game. But the recipe for a dispenser is up on the screen right now. All you need is a bow, a bit of redstone and some cobble. So it's not appalling. So you're coming up, you've got that block, then you've got your dispenser facing you, then dig down another 3. So 1, 2 and 3. Take out that, and that. So you got a little bit of room to move, and then take out that, and that. So the site opposite the dispenser, they're all open. Then what you want to do is you want to get yourself a sign. You could use a trapdoor if you wish. Either side of the dispenser, a sign opposite the dispenser, and then a trapdoor. I like this spruce trapdoor that you get in Minecraft 1.13. I'm properly in love with the trapdoor. Stick it on there and whack it open. Dead simple. That's literally all you need to do. Go into your dispenser, shove yourself a water bucket. What you are going to need are just a couple of ladders, and then come along opposite your dispenser here and come out 1, 2 and 3, and then dig straight up. And then when you get here, not on the bottom one, but the next one, and then ladder up to the top, and then you can get out. So what you've got there is a hole with a dispenser that's going to shove water. Shove yourself a lever on there. That'll dispense the water, but you'll notice the water doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't flood the chamber. And then you can turn it off by flicking it like that. Dead simple. Then all you need to do is start to shove a few sheep in there. So just give the sheep a little bit of a nudge. They will get in there. You need to be careful, but they will fall in. If you're very careful, you'll manage to get them in there. It's not easy. There's one, and you just keep on doing it until you've got at least 2 sheep. Obviously, if you've got more sheep or more cows, you can do it like 4 or however many. But all you need to do is get as many sheep in here as you possibly can. Now, if you only have 2 sheep in there, what you want to do is just give it a little shove. It's obviously easier to only get 2 sheep in there. So you've got 2 in there. Get yourself down and shut your trap door. Then come up, and if you then turn on this lever, the sheep come up and they bob up and down. They don't escape from the hole, they just bob up and down. And if I get myself some wheat, where's some wheat? Let's grab some. What you can then do is feed them just by keeping your right button pushed. Because they pop up 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 each at a separate time, what you find is that they are, you're pressing your right mouse button on a different sheep every single time, and then they'll breed, and then eventually you can turn off the water, and in there is going to be a baby sheep. Just keep breeding them up until you've got loads in there. So when you've got as many sheep as you want in there, come along, get yourself downstairs and open that trapdoor. They will not fall down because they're big boy and girl sheep, and they sit on top of the edge of that trapdoor. It's really funny looking up through sheep. Look, you can see it's like a sheep tube. That's actually quite disturbing. Then come along, get yourself up at the top again here, and if you throw that switch, you've got to throw it twice because you've got to turn it off and on again to get the water out, and just press and hold the right mouse button like that. You end up getting lots and lots of sheep, getting all loved up, making babies, because they do love a good baby, do sheep. They breed like sheep do sheep, and keep bouncing around them, and eventually you'll get a number of babies. They'll start to lose interest and you turn off the water and down they go. Then if you come down here, you'll notice you've got a load of baby sheep lurking around. Now these could be also baby cows, and if you've got baby sheep or baby cows, you just have to wait for them to grow up, and then you can just slaughter them mercilessly with your sword. And it doesn't even have to be an expensive sword. You can even use a wooden sword. You can even punch them with your bare fists and get the meat out of them. If you do cows, you're also going to get leather, which is an advantage. So wait for them to grow up and you've got a ready source of meat. The reason you've not got your ladder there is so the mobs can't climb up. What's also probably worth saying is stick yourself a bit of a torch down here. Let's just, so as like the tree farm, you don't end up with some horrible creeper coming along and blowing up your face, because that just would not do at all. And there you go. Dead simple, right? 2 easy farms that you can do really near the beginning of the game, and as a result you're going to have as much wood and as much meat as you could possibly muster. Really handy farms for your early game experience. If you have enjoyed this video, please do remember to slap that like button. It'd be great to know you're enjoying them, and maybe I'll just keep whacking out the odd quickie every now and again. Also, if you've not done it already, do hit that subscribe button and the notifications bell. It'd be great to see you in my sub club, and I look forward to seeing you in another video. You take it easy now. Bye.